Good morning. Well, what a chilly weekend. So anyway, we enjoy it while we can, and the flowers need the water. What do we say? One of the sad things about COVID is that seems to be an increased number of people who are dying untimelessly, just not expecting it. And obviously with that comes the people who are left behind and those who suddenly find themselves grieving after having lived probably a normal life, as normal as we know it. And yet, as Christians, we are able to say that we can, to a certain extent, celebrate death. And so, but hang on, wait a minute. How can you celebrate something which seems so negative and so final? Well, you see, in faith we acknowledge that it is only through death that we are able to attain eternal life. And that's ultimately what this life that we have here is all about, is preparing us for eternal life. And so when death does happen, whether we expect it or not, in fact, it is a time when we are able to be united with Jesus. It's a time when we are able to be rewarded for the life that we've lived, the way in which we've lived it. And it's also a time where those of us who are left behind and who have that loss, that sadness, yeah, it's there. And why not? That person was important to us. We're entitled to grief. But it's a time for us to say, yeah, that is what we're all here for. And so therefore we can celebrate that the person who has died has in fact been rewarded for the life that they've lived. They in fact were born for this time. They were born so that they could be ready to be with Jesus. Yeah, it's kind of an oxymoron. It's kind of a negative and a positive, if you like. But St. Paul tells us in the first letter to Thessalonians that we read from chapter 4 today, for those who have died in Jesus, God will bring them with him. And so it's important that we do live our lives in Jesus and in faith. And it's important that when somebody dies, we are able to celebrate that Jesus is now taking them back. I often say to people at a funeral, it's a time for us to say, thank you for giving him to us, Lord, for this time. Now we give them back to you. Please look after them. Have a wonderful and a beautiful day, and God keep you safe. Bye-bye.